So this video today, I thought we would do something a little bit different and do a mid-year recap on my sketchbook, regrets, positives, negatives, and some things that we'd maybe do a bit differently. So let's get started. So this is the sketchbook. If you've been following this channel for a while, you know there is a video on the sketchbook. So this is the current state of it. I started this sketchbook on the 10th of February this year, and I did this really pretty typography type front page. One of the first things that I think I could do differently with the next sketchbook is set some goals. Now, this is a good thing for your sketchbook. You want to set some goals for your sketchbook. I had the intention of sketching every day or most days and haven't really achieved that goal. Life is busy. I have 3 children and life just takes over. So going forward, one thing that definitely I want to incorporate more is sketching. Another thing with a sketchbook is when you choose a sketchbook, you want to make sure you choose one that can open flat. So this one has a spine that's glued, and on opening the sketchbook, trying to get it to lay flat, it's been tearing pretty much the whole way through. So this needs to be taped up. There we go. Much better. There is a video on the first couple of pages. I did some blobs with these Buzzy Bee doodles. Lots of fun. Really love this. And then a watercolor scribble page with a couple of doodle flowers. Next page on the same video, also another doodle with a rainbow, happy rainbow month, and then a Zentangle type doodle. Squiggles, thoroughly loved the squiggles, and a type of botanical leaf situation. So something I would definitely choose in my next sketchbook is better paper. At the time, I thought this was decent paper. It is meant to just be a pen and ink pencil type of sketchbook, but the paper is quite thin. It does warp significantly, and I like to paint in my sketchbook, so I definitely want to choose different paper and thicker paper for the next one. Painting of lemons. I love painting fruits. I love painting lemons. Do have some other watercolor sketches and a lime here. Thoroughly loved this one. Other fruits that I have been practicing. So that's something that we will be doing going forward. One of my favorite videos that I did is these super rough sprayed flowers. They are super easy to do. You just take a paintbrush, you scribble, it's just water all over the place. I love this one, how it turned out, and there was a little sketch that I did on the side. Another little tulip with a wet type background, and then flowers, flower doodle type of sketches. But also you can see this is not a watercolor sketchbook, so it doesn't take the water media very well. It doesn't hold it. It doesn't create the textures that you want. It just really doesn't work all that well. And because I like to paint, practiced birds. This one turned out really cute, just using some references over the internet, drawing with shapes. And that didn't really make it further than this. This was acrylic paint, just doing a full page spread and then just scribbling over it with paint. And then this was a Posca marker that I just did a scribble in and dots. It turned out really well, I think. I love the color combination. Practicing my paintbrush work. So this one was just lines using water. Again, you can see it makes these dark edges and it doesn't take water media very well, but it was just good practice work. This was with a filbert brush, trying to get petals with a filbert brush and then practicing line work. Always great warm-up exercises, and I definitely recommend if you're just warming up or just getting started painting, doing something like this is great practice. Another little tulip painting, also made it into a video. You can go back on the channel and have a look at that. Trying to do the water blending. I love doing heavy water blending. I love how the paint does these shapes into one another and they just blend and flow. This one is doing a variegated wash, I think it's called. But again, doesn't work that well because this is not watercolor paper, so you got to work very lightly, and it obviously does warp a lot. Practicing more line work, warm-up exercises, more scribbles of flowers, a peony. Also just added too much water here for the paper. I think you can try and control your water on this type of paper. I have no idea what kind of paper it is. It's just your average paper. And then this was more of a dry brush, but also dry brush with wet, you can see. But practice, warm-ups, it's all good. Anemones, also like it doesn't take the water. So I had this heavy, thick black paint here and then ended up just scribbling it. So probably one of my favorite pieces. Maybe I will go back on that. I just painted it, and then as it was drying, I had dipped in some paint, and then once this part was dry, taking the brush with the darker color and then adding in the strokes. Practicing more blue washes and this type of also dragon lift flowers. More flowers. This was with watered down gouache. I have some very dried out gouache that I've been testing out to see if it actually can revive, and if you can use it, you can use it for practice. It turns out like opaque watercolor, not the best solution. If you want to use gouache, you should probably use it when it's fresh. Don't let it actually dry out. And then I really started some sketching because I realized that trying to paint in this book was actually frustrating, and I just went on to actually painting on watercolor paper and then just practicing sketches in this sketchbook. So here we've got a little fern leaf, and I really wanted to get back into sketching faces. So this was a line work sketch, very light. I just used I think a H pencil and just lightly sketched. Same thing, another fern. I do want to carry this onto a painting because I really love how these leaves fell in these shapes and just how haphazard and scraggly it looks. This one did make it into a painting. Here is that painting. Turned out pretty well. But it was also, this was on a Fabriano cellulose paper. So I just did very soft leaves, and then I did do more work on the actual flower. Birds again. I just tried to do another sketch session of birds and hopefully want to try and paint them at some stage, but for now we just have light sketches. Leaf doodles. This was super fun. I love doodling. So doing squares and then doodling these different types of leaves, and here random flowers. Sketching of flowers. Another little art deco type sunset with a boat. Also, this one did kind of work out well, but colors bleed and it doesn't catch all that well. I do want to try this one as a painting some stage. Painting marigolds, blue marigold, blue dandelion, blue flower. And then these were supposed to be dandelions. And then this one thing that the sketchbook does have going for it is that it makes these beautiful patterns, and then doing the dry brush work as well works out. But trying to add in texture and add in color is just a no-go. Because with these leaves, where I got to add in more color, it blended really well. And this is on Asha's paper. So that is, you can see a huge difference, and this is also Asha's paper. So definitely your paper quality is something to look out for. Something of a sketch. Tried a horse. It was drawn from a kid's toy, and then also this was drawn from sitting outside, one of my plein air sketches, trying to get into the vibe of sketching from life. And then sketching watermelon. This was super fun to do, and it did make it into a bit of a painting. And this is how this one turned out. So from sketch, my little diagraph of what I'm going to add when, and then trying to figure out my darks and my lights before I painted. And then this was just detailing the sketch a little bit more. Also not the best paper, and I painted it on the back of swatches. So that's something that you can do if you want to reuse your paper at any stage. You don't always have to paint only on one side. You can flip the paper over and then utilize both sides. Okay, more practice work of flowers. And then this is where the sketching really gets good, because here I've tried to practice my daisy. I drew a circle and then did the petals, some leaves, darker leaves, lighter leaves sketching. This one is a painting that I painted. Okay, here we go. And that's how it made it into a painting on Arches paper using Daniel Smith watercolors. Avocado, painting fruit. I actually really enjoy painting fruits and vegetables. So if you want to learn more about painting and drawing that type of content, definitely give this video a thumbs up, a like, subscribe, all those good things, and then you'll be able to learn more about that. The fruit, the banana, didn't really go further than this, and my child got into the painting, or my child got into the drawing a little bit and added her own work. Tomatoes, this one made it into a painting on Arches, and it's also a video on the channel if you want to see how this was painted. So here is the sketch on that. Painting peaches, or drawing peaches actually, and then that also made it onto this painting. Also just for practice, and it was really fun. I enjoyed doing this. And then a papaya or pawpaw, wherever you are in the world, and whatever you call this fruit. And that's it for the sketchbook. So something that I would definitely want to do going forward on this channel is more sketching videos, more drawing videos, and then adding in some paint here and there. So give this video a thumbs